Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Uh, Yesterday we have discussed up to uh, question number 5. Yes, question number 5. And now onwards, we will discuss section 3, income tax rate, right? Rate of income tax. 3.1, normal tax rates applicable to individual. It is common for all citizens, individuals. Tax rate for resident and non-resident individuals. So it's a progressive, right? It's a progressive rate. So when we look at this one, uh, here, and this, yes. See, the part A is a calculation of assessable income. So income, right? Assessable income. So it consists of employment income, business income, investment income, and other income. And yesterday we have talked about, so there are some deductions. These deductions are coming under two categories: relief and qualifying payment. Under relief, relief for employment income, that is maximum of 700,000, and foreign service income, rent income, that is a maximum of 25% of rental income, interest income for senior citizens only up to 1.5 million, personal relief up to 500,000, and qualifying payment under this qualifying payment there are two. Number one is donation to approved charity, that is acceptable if the donation made in terms of money, and second category, donation to the government. And so for that category, both monetary donation as well as other the amount of donations are also acceptable. Then assessable income minus relief minus qualifying payment equal taxable income, right? Other than that, there are other calculations. Calculation of tax payable. Here, tax on terminal benefit. So terminal benefit mean, so for example, for an employee, he is working for a long period of time in office as an employee. He may get retirement. Sometimes he may resign from their job. At that time, he will entitled to get some amount of money payment from the office. Say claim, EPF claim, ETF claim, and gratuity, compensation paid by the office. So that amount which he will receive. So on the tax on that amount also applicable in specific rate. So that will discussing schedule 8. Tax on realization of investment assets. So that is 10%. Yesterday we have discussed gain on realization of investment assets, uh, and the balance tax income, and also on tax on final withholding payment. Total tax payable, total of these three, and finally, if we have any tax credit, we can deduct, right? And also now we are going to discuss this part. Tax on balance tax payable. Tax on balance tax payable, right here, right, this one. Tax rate for residents and non-resident individual. Here it first 600,000 for an employee, taxable income for the first 600,000 tax rate is 4%. The next 600,000 tax rate is 8%. For the next 600,000 tax rate is 12%. For the another tax 600,000 16%, another 600,000 20%, above that 600,000 24, right? So I will explain in the example in the Excel sheet, right? First 600,000, the tax rate is 4%. right? And second 600,000, 8%. It's mean how much total? Up to 8%. And third 600,000, 12%. And fourth, then third 600,000, 12%, and fourth 600,000, 18%. So 16%. And fifth 600,000, again 20%. And above 600, this one equal 24%. This is the income tax rate for individual, right? This is the income tax rate of individuals, right? Here for 600, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and more than 3 million, 24, right? Clear? Okay, right. Right, now we will discuss a reduced tax rate. Reduced tax rate. So there are some specific tax rates here. So we just now we talk about tax on balance tax income, right? That is at 6%. That first 600, second 600, third 600, 4, 8, 12, like that. So it's coming under this category, tax on balance taxable income. Now we will discuss terminal benefits. Reduced tax rate applicable to individual, right? So gain from realization of investment asset, that is 10%, right? Gain from realization of investment asset, 10%. We have to here, we will apply 10% here. Tax on realization of investment asset, 10%, right? Tax on gain on realization of investment asset, 10%. Then lower rate applicable for retirement benefits, this one. Tax on terminal benefit. Terminal mean stop from the employment. As discussed in chapter 2, lower rates will apply on the following terminal benefits. 1. Account received in commutation of a pension. Commutation of pension. At the time of getting pension, that pension he will apply at a lower rate. Amount received as retiring gratuity, right? So if the employee getting retirement gratuity, it's applicable at lower rate. Amount received as compensation for loss of office or employment under a scheme which the Commissioner General consider to be uniformly applicable to all individual employed by the employer, right? Say the company has a policy that if any employee terminated by the company or the employer, the company should pay 3 months salary at the time of retirement, at the time of termination, right? So that amount also is considered as a amount received as compensation for loss of office or employment, Right? Normally, this is a practice. When an employee stopped by, terminated by the employer will give 3 month salary. 3 month salary. For that amount also, a person should pay tax. An amount paid to a person at or after the time of retirement from employment from a provident fund approved by the Commissioner General that does not represent the person's contribution to the provident fund. So EPF, ETF, the EPF, there are two things: employer contribution, employee contribution. Right? Employer contribution is a benefit. He can be withdraw at the time of retirement. For that amount also, he should pay tax at lower rate. Amount paid to a person from a regulated provident fund that does not represent contribution made by the employer to the provident fund before 1st of April 1968. So old one. And the interest which occurred on such contribution made by the employer, if tax has been paid by the employer at 15% on such contribution made an interest, right? And finally, amount paid to a person at or after the time of retirement from employment from the Employees Trust Fund, ETF, established by the employees. Right? Now we will see what is the applicable rate for this. Right? Lower rate applicable for commutation of pension, retiring gratuity, and compensation for loss of fees, and EPF payment, EPF and ETF payment. Right. Now we will see what are the applicable rates here for this one. Terminal benefits. Right. Terminal benefits. Applicable lower rates are given below. First, we have to decide the experience of the person. At the time of retirement, we have to calculate his service period. We have to decide whether his service period is more than 20 years or less than 20 years. Right? More than 20 years or less than 20 years. Here where the period of contribution or the period of employment is over 20. I'm sorry, employment is 20 or less. Period of service is 20 years or less. Then we have to apply this table. Income, total income from retirement benefits, right? On the first 2 million, on the first 2 million, there is no tax. There is no tax. On the next 1 million, applicable rate is 5%. On the balance, 10%. Right? For the first 2 million, no tax. For the next 1 million, 5%. And the balance, 10%. If his service period is more than 20 years, right? If they are the period of contribution or the period of employment is more than 20 years, for the first 5 million, there is no tax. There is no tax. And for the next 1 million, 5%, balance 10%, right? If his service period is less than 20 years, first 2 million is exempt, no tax. If service period is more than 20 years, first 5 million is exempt. Right. Now, higher rate tax applicable to individual. Income from business consisting of betting, gambling, liquor or tobacco, tax rate will be 40%. Right? There are how many rates? Tax on terminal benefits. At this point, we have to consider whether service period is 20 years or more. Less than 20 years or more than 20 years. And tax on gain on realization of investment asset is 10%. Right? It is 10%. And tax on balance tax amount, that is progressive. 4%, 8%, 12%, 16%, 20%, 24%, up to 24. And we'll discuss about on final tax withholding tax. And income tax applicable to companies, it is not relevant to our syllabus. Right, now we come to the final point. Balance income tax payable. Here, this one. Balance tax payable. Balance tax payable. How to compute this one? Balance tax payable. Once Once the gross income tax liability is computed, the tax credit to be deducted to arrive the balance tax payable or overpayment. Tax credit mean we already paid some amount of money as tax to the government before finalizing the calculations. Before finalizing the calculation, advance taxes, advance payment as a tax. The tax credit should be categorized into two as follows: foreign tax credit and local tax credit. So we will get clear idea about this in the examples. So this is the format of tax computation. Here, this is the return form. This is the return form. I think all of you are very clear on how to fill this income return form, right? First, we have to calculate employment income, business income, investment income, and other income. Total of these income equal assessable income. Then there are some deductions, relief, and qualifying payment. Then we will get taxable income, and we have to calculate tax on terminal benefits if they are, and gain on realization of investment assets, and tax on balance taxable income, final withholding payment, right? And tax credits. Finally, we will get what? Balance tax payable. Yeah. It is detailed form, detailed one. Income from employment minus exempt amount, final withholding payment, and final income, so liable income for employment. Total of these equal employment income. And income from business, and you have to deduct exempt amount, final withholding payment, amount included in employment income, liable income from business, and allowance deduction, finally business income. Here, employment income and business income. Third section, income from investment minus exempt amount, final withholding payment, amount included in employment income and business income, liable income from investment, and allowable deductions. Finally, investment income, right? Equal total here. Income from other sources, exempt amount, withholding payment, amount included in employment income, business income, or investment income. We have deduct a liable income from other sources and allowable deductions and allowed assessable income of other sources. Finally, we will get assessable income. Assessable income equal what? Assessable income equal what? Equal, anybody of you can you answer? Assessable income equal what? This amount equal to what? Anybody of you? MS 59, can you tell? Assessable income equal what? Assessable income equal to what? Are you there? MS 59. No, absent. Right. MS 21. Right. After getting assessable income, we can deduct qualifying payment and another qualifying payment, qualified donations, right? And personal allowance for individual 500,000, and employment allowance 700,000, and 25% for rental, and interest allowance 1.5 million for senior citizen account, and foreign currency sales income up to 15 million equal total income. So taxable income, right? Taxable income. Then income tax at 11 rate as per the schedule, and we deduct tax credit, and finally we will arrive balance tax payable. Right now we will move the calculation. Before that, there are we will discuss something about exempt income and final withholding payment. Any questions? Please ask. We covered almost 99% of the year syllabus in income tax. Any questions? Any questions? Right, now we move to section 6, summary of exempt income and final withholding payment. Exempt income is explained in schedule 3. The following shall be exempt amount under schedule 3 to the Inland Revenue Act. Number part A, derived amount derived by number 1, the government of Sri Lanka or a local authority, including any government department. So if anybody getting salary from the government of Sri Lanka or from a local authority, that income is exempt from tax. And Central Bank of Sri Lanka, if anybody work in Central Bank of Sri Lanka, that amount also exempt income. Any university which is established or deemed to be established under the Universities Act number 16 of 1978 or Buddhist and Pali University of Sri Lanka. And any government assisted private school other than that incorporated under Companies Act number 7 of 2007, which is registered with the Ministry of Education and mandated to follow the circulars issued by the government and Ministry of Education. Any registered society within the meaning of the cooperative societies, and the government of foreign country of foreign territory to the extent specified under a diplomatic immunities law or similar law, and international organization to extent specified under the diplomatic immunities law or a similar law or an agreement between the organization and the government of Sri Lanka, provided that the exemption provided under the agreement shall be broader than that provided under diplomatic immunities law or a similar law. Section B. Capital sums paid to a person as a compensation or a gratuity in relation to personal injuries suffered by the person. For example, a person in a factory, he met an accident while he is working. So due to that, he has get a compensation for that injuries accident. At that time, that amount for that compensation, no need to pay tax. That's income. That's not a income on tax purpose. The death of another person, right? So in case of accident or whatsoever, a person face death, compensation will be provided by third party. That amount also not considered as a income for tax purpose, exempt income. The pension of a person where the pension income is paid by the government of Sri Lanka or the department of government of Sri Lanka, right? The pension, government pension is not taxable. And the amount paid to an employee at the time of retirement, any pension fund or ETF established by Employee Trust Fund, Act number 46 of 1980, as represent income derived by that fund for any period. and provident fund approved by the Commissioner General, EPF, ETF, like that. The income of an individual entitled to privileges to the extent provided by a diplomatic immunities law or similar law, an act giving effect to the Convention on the Privilege and Immunities of the United Nations and the Convention on the Privilege and Immunities of the specified agencies of the United Nations. Regulations made under this act relating to an international organization or a law or act referred to the subparagraph or not. And a gain made by resident individual, right? A gain made by resident individual from the realization of investment asset that does not exceed 50,000, right? Up to 50,000, don't worry about to tax. And where the gain made by the resident individual from the realization of investment asset in the year of assessment does not exceed 600,000, right? In a single activity, he can earn up to 50,000, no tax. Aggregate 600,000, right? 600,000 for the year of assessment. No need to pay tax. Except where the Commissioner General is satisfied that investment asset has been realized in two or more part for the purpose of taking advantage of the paragraph. Any gain arising from the realization shall be exempt under the paragraph only if the total gain from realization of all part does not exceed 50,000. The total gain made by resident individual from realization of investment asset in the year of assessments not exceed 600,000. Very simply, for the year of assessment, 600 up to 600,000, but the single activity not exceed 50,000. We can sell an asset, asset 6 times. 6 times into 6 into 50,000. How much? Not 12. No, it's 12 times. It means monthly 50,000. He can earn monthly 50,000 up to 600,000 for the year of assessment. In the case of realization of investment asset that is jointly owned, this paragraph applies only the total gain made by the owners of the investment assets on realization of the asset does not exceed 50,000 and total gain made by the resident individual in the year of investment do not exceed 600,000. And a gain made by resident individual on the realization of individual's principal place of residence, right? He has sold his own principal place of residence, provided it has been owned by the individual continuously for 3 years before being realized and lived by the individual for at least 2 of these 3 years, right? So if you sold your own living place, the income realized by selling your own place, it is not taxable, right? So you have to live there last 3 years. Gain made on realization of asset consisting of shares quoted in any official list published by the stock exchange licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka. Right? If you buy and sell shares of companies which are listed in the Colombo Stock Exchange, so the capital gain earned through exchange of shares, especially listed in Colombo Stock Exchange, is not taxable. The interest derived by a charitable institution, where it is proved to the satisfaction of Commissioner General that such interest is applied solely for a purpose of providing care to children, the elderly, or the disabled in a home maintained by charitable institution, right? So you are running a charitable institution. The main operation of the institution is caring people, caring children, caring elder people, caring disabled people. Then you deposit an amount. You have deposit a big amount of money in a bank that generate interest. For that interest, no need to pay tax because you are running a charitable institution. Any prize received by a person as an award made by the President of the Republic of Sri Lanka or by the government in recognition of invention created or any research undertaken by any person. If you have received any award from the government for your innovation, creation or research, that amount also not taxable. Any sum received by a person uh, from the President Fund established by the President Fund, or the National Defence Fund established by the National Defence Fund. An amount equal to interest or the discount paid or allowed, as the case may be, to any non-resident person or to any licensed commercial bank in Sri Lanka by the issuer or any sovereign bond denominated in foreign currency issued on after 21st of 2008 October. Any amount derived by the senior citizen from an annuity for life for a period of not less than 10 years purchased from a bank or insurance company registered under the regulation of Insurance Act. Any winning from lottery, the gross amount of which does not exceed 500,000. Yesterday also we have discussed up to 500,000 we no need to pay any tax on lottery. A dividend paid by resident company to a member to extend that dividend payment is attributable to or derived from another dividend received by the resident company or another resident company that was subject to withholding tax. Withholding under section 84. And benefit received or derived by an employee of the government of Sri Lanka from a road vehicle permit issued to the employee. So there are some officers, say doctors, engineers, and there are people who are eligible to get vehicle permits, right? For that vehicle permit, no need to pay income tax, is exempt. The profit and income from any property donated by the royal or the other grant before March 2, 1815 to any place of public worship administered by charitable institution insofar as such profit and income are applied to the proposer for which such grant was made. And dividend from and gain on realization of shares in a non-resident company were derived by a resident company with respect to substantial participation in the non-resident company. This paragraph, substantial participation means, right, any amount derived by the person from the sale of any gem or gem on which tax has been deducted under subsection 2. So these are the list of exempt income. And also very important section 6.2. 6.2 is a very important section, right? Here, dividend withholding payments. Withholding payments. You have to remember this thing. On what receipt you already paid withholding payment normally. Number one, dividend paid by a resident company to resident person. So if you are invest in a company shares, time to time company declare dividend. When company declare dividend, the company already deducted withholding tax, then pay the dividend for you. So it means you already paid tax on that dividend. Therefore, you no need to pay tax on that dividend again and again. Payment of interest to a resident individual other than interest paid to a senior citizen up to the relief threshold given 1.5 million. Right? If you invest a big amount of money in a bank will pay you in interest, but the bank pay interest to you. Before that, it already deduct tax on that interest. So again, no need to pay tax because the bank already deducted tax on behalf of you. Interest paid to charitable institution. Right, interest paid to a charitable institution. So you are running you are running what charitable institution, uh, and you have invest a big amount of money in a bank that will pay interest. So that interest for charitable institution, no need to pay tax. An amount paid as winning from lottery, so up to 500,000, no, amount paid as winning from a lottery, reward, betting or gambling, other than amounts received in conducting business consisting of betting and gambling, and payment made to non-resident person that are subject to withholding, other than payment derived through Sri Lankan permanent establishment. So transient province provisions, no need, right? Uh, right. We will do the example 6. We will do example question 6. Right. First we read the question. Mr. Muhammad has following income for the year of assessment 1819. Please, so I go a little bit fast because these areas are not much important. That's why I go fast. Right. All the areas I have covered, and also I will upload the recording of the session. From this point onwards, each and every steps are very important because we are going to revise everything through examples. Now we are come to the point, application of the theories into practice. Right? We are going to do calculations. Right? It is very important. From this point onwards, it's very important. If anybody of you have any doubt, please stop me and ask questions. It is very important, right? Mr. Muhammad has the following income for the year of assessment 1819. Income from business, how much? 300,000. Interest income from a fixed deposit, which was subject to withholding tax. It means he is already paid income tax. So it is not part of income tax. Employment income, so primary employment is 1 million. So calculate Muhammad's taxable income for the year of assessment 1990. Right. We will do this. Right. We will do this in Excel sheet. And I will get a copy of this. If anybody of you are unable to understand, please stop me and ask questions. Right. We know there are different types of income. Income from employment, income from business, income from investment, income, other income, right? Then we will get assessable income. Then we will some deductions. Deductions, relief. There are different reliefs and donations, qualifying payment. And taxable income. And tax rate, tax. Right. How much is employment income? How much is employment income? Employment income is 1 million, right? Employment income is 1 million. And business income 300,000. Yes, one question. Business income 300. 300,000. Investment income, how much? Investment income, interest, that is 200,000. Right? But you have to think here, interest income from fixed deposit, which was subject to withholding tax. It means already you have paid interest, right? The bank already deducted tax on that interest income, and the bank paid the balance. It means already you have paid tax. Therefore, we cannot include this 200,000 as income because it's a withholding tax payment. Withholding tax already done, right? Then equal how much? Assessable income. Assessable income equal how much? Right, clear? Now his income is, assessable income is 101.3 million, right? 1.3 million, right? There are some different reliefs to him. Relief number one, employment relief. Employment relief. Does Mr. Muhammad X eligible or not to receive employment relief? Eligible or not? Does he eligible or not? He's eligible because he's getting employment income. So maximum amount he can go for up to 700,000. 700,000. Right? Rent income. Does he eligible? Rent 25% of? No, he's not eligible. And what's next? Other reliefs. Employment income, okay. Foreign sales income, not eligible. Rent income, not eligible. And relief on interest income, not eligible. Personal relief, does he eligible or not? Personal relief. Is eligible. How much? Up to 500,000. Right? No information about qualifying payment. No information about qualifying payment. Therefore, taxable income equal how much? 1.3 million minus 7 million, 700,000 minus 500,000 minus taxable income is 100,000. Taxable income is 100,000. And how much tax? Tax how much? Tax we apply this table. Right, we'll apply this table for the first 600,000. For the first 600,000, how much? What's the rate? What's the rate? 4%. 4%. So it is 100,000. So we simply, so up to first 600,000 tax rate is 4%. Therefore, tax will be 100,000 into 4%, 0.04. So the income tax is 44,000. Clear? Income tax is 4,000. Clear? Any doubt? Any questions? If you have any unclear area, please ask me. Right? I go step by step. Next question will be tough than this. Right? Clear? Okay. Okay. Taxable income is 100,000 for right. Okay. Here, business income 300,000, employment income 1 million, investment income nil, and total assessable income equal 1.3 million less relief. Personal allowance for individual 500,000, employment allowance. So all total allowance equal 1.2 million. Therefore, 1 million is a 100,000 is a taxable income. Right. Okay. Now we go for question number 7. Please read this question. Please be read. I will give you 5 minutes. Please read and get an idea. Get the idea. Right, shall we start? Shall we start? Right. First we will write the format. First we will do the format. First one, employment income. Right, under the employment income, here Bimal, who is a resident individual, work as a factory manager of a reputed manufacturing company. The following information relating to him is provided in respect of the year of assessment 1819. Number one, during the year, he has received the following from his employer. Further, he has already submitted primary employment declaration to the employer. Gross salary, how much gross salary per month? 160. First we will call salary. Salary equal how much? 160,000 per month. Therefore 12 months. Then how much? Right? Right. Salary, okay. Right, salary. And the bonus of rupees 200,000 was received in March. So March 2019, within this year of assessment or not? Within this period or not? That is falls under this period bonus. How much? 200,000. Right? And he lives with the family in a rented house near the factory for a rent of 35,000 per month. The company reimburses the rent paid by him. Right? So market value is given or not? Market value of the benefit is given or not? Here, market value of the benefit of the house is given or not? Market value of the benefit from the house. How a house is provided by the company. This means the company does not have its own house, but Mr. Bimal has taken a house nearby the factory. The rent paid by him is rupees 35,000 per month. This 35,000 is paid by company, reimbursed. So the market value of the benefit is given or not? Market value of the benefit is given. If the market value of the benefit is not given, what is the adjustment? We have to go for this table. If market value of the benefit is not given, we have to go for yes, we have to go for this table. If monthly remuneration is less than or equal to 200,000 and the residence is in the, we have to check whether it's rated area or unrated area or estate bungalow. Right? If his monthly salary is more than 200,000, this table will be applied. Right? I already explained you everything. Go for the recording, you can read that. And in furniture, if the company provide the house with furniture, again we have to add 2.5%. Right? In this example, the market value is given. Market value is given. Any expenditure reimbursed by the employer in connection with the house or apartment is occupied by the employee the actual cost of the employer is the value of benefit. So this point is applicable. Here I reimbursed. The actual cost is reimbursed by the employer. Therefore, the market value of the benefit is provided. Therefore, we have to take that benefit, 35,000 housing benefit. How much? 35,000 into 12 months equal right. Clear? Right. Employment income. Any questions you can ask? Right. In addition, Vimal has an apartment in Colombo which is rated at rupees 240,000. This apartment is given on rent with furniture rupees 40,000 per month together to a foreigner. Rates at 30% and repair to the furniture amounting rupees 26,000 were paid during the year by Vimal. So this income fall under which category? Employment income or investment income or business income? Section 2, part 2. Which falls under which category? Employment or investment or business? Yes, MS12, correct. Correct answer. Investment income. Investment income. He has an additional house. He has given the house for rent and earn some sort of income. So that is fall under investment income, right? We have to get the information is what? Monthly rent, that is 40,000. And actual expenditure is 26,000. But if he is not claimed the actual expenditure, he is eligible to get 25% of relief on rental income, right? Then we put business income. There is no information. Investment income, rent on house. How much per month? 40,000 into 12 months equal right. He spent some amount of money. So what is the adjustment? What is the adjustment for this? We can claim it under relief. We can claim it under relief on rental income. Right. His son, Sadun, has a saving account at a commercial bank, and a gross interest of rupees 29,250 was received during the year. Sadun, his child. Mr. Vimal has to pay income tax for this or not? Sir, Vimal is responsible to pay income tax on his child income. Yes or no? Yes or no? Sadun is his son. Therefore, he is not liable to pay tax on his child income. But in the previous act, he is liable to pay income tax for child income. But according to the new act, no need to pay tax on child income. Right? So we no need to make any adjustment on adjustment 3. Right? Information 3. No need to make any adjustments because it's a child income. Bimal has received rupees 121,500 during the year as interest from investment in treasury bills. So here no information is given on withholding tax payment. We assume that no withholding tax is deducted. No withholding tax is deducted. How much? 121,500. Interest on treasury bill. Interest on treasury bill. Right. Bimal has invested in shares of some listed companies and he has incurred a loss of 56,000 during the year from the trading shares. So capital gain, we have to pay tax. For capital gain losses, do we consider losses? Do we need to consider capital gain loss? Incurred a loss of rupees 56,000. You have to consider about the loss. Yes or no? No need to consider loss on investment. But business loss we will consider. But this is not his business. It is his investment. So no need to consider about this. And dividend received during the year were as follows. Dividend with the holding tax at 14%. Do we cut 17,500? Have to include or not? Do we have to include or not in the calculation? The 17,500 dividend income? No need to include. No need to include. What is the reason? Yes, MS12 exactly said. Withholding tax already deducted. Withholding tax is already deducted. So therefore, no need to include. But anyhow, for the exam purpose, you have to write capital loss, capital gain loss, right? And there's no adjustment. And dividend already withholding tax deducted. So you have to put the amount withholding tax is deducted. And this one, dividend, out of dividend received from other companies which have been subject to withholding tax. Have to include or not? This one. Have to include or not? Withholding tax already deducted, subject to withholding tax. Subject to withholding tax. No need to include, I think. Yes. No need to include. Already paid the dividend from dividend received from other companies which have been subject to withholding tax. It's mean already a tax paid. Tax is paid on this amount. Dividend. Dividend one. Dividend. Also withholding tax already paid. Clear? Right. And during the year, Vimal has made the following donations. So, do we have any other income? Do we have other income? No. Then we will calculate assessable income. So here we don't have any other income. We don't have other income, right? So assessable income equal. So we have to take, first we have to take the total of each and every source. Here, how much? Total of employment income we have to take. Likewise, here. Business income 0. business income 0, in investment income, total investment income equal right, another income 0. Then how much accessible income? Accessible income equal how much? So one question comes. No need to reduce the from print. Right. I will come to the point later. Right. Accessible income 3 million. Check the answer. Right. We get the same answer. Right. Then deductions. Under deductions, what are those deductions? Deductions, relief. Under relief, what kind of reliefs we have? Employment relief, foreign service income relief, and senior citizen relief, and rent income relief, and personal relief. Right. Employment income, does he eligible? Yes, he has employment income up to 2.5 million. So therefore, he is eligible to how much employment income relief? How much? Relief on employment income? How much? Any answers? How much relief? Very good. Very good. MS1 replied. Yes, very good. 700,000. Good. 700,000. Right, 700,000. Foreign service income, he doesn't have any foreign income. And senior citizen, Bimal does senior citizen or not? He's not a senior citizen. Therefore, he is also not eligible for that. And rent income, do we have rent income, Bimal? Rent income, how much? He is getting rent income 480,000. So what is the relief? How much relief he can enjoy? How much? Rent income, his rent income is equal 180, 25% of this. How much? 120,000. Personal relief, how much personal relief? Yes, very good. 500,000. MS1 replied. Yes. Right. And other deduction is what? Qualifying payment. Right. Right now we move to qualifying payment. So we know there are two types of qualifying payment. Number one is approved charity, donation to approved charity, and second government, donation to government. There are two types of donations. Here, a case donation of rupees 50,000 to his village temple. Is it eligible? Can we claim it? Case donation to his village temple? No, we can't take. We can't take as a donation, right? So therefore, no. Approved charity, no, zero. It's not eligible. We have to put donation to temple, village temple. No, there's no, right? And right, second, cash donation of 100,000 to National Kidney Fund. It's coming under which category? Donation to the government or donation to approved charity? It's coming under where? Coming under where? Kidney Fund, National Kidney Fund, approved charity or donation to the government? Yes, very good. Donation to the government. What's the limit? No limit. Donation to government, no limit. How much? 100,000. Okay. Then total deduction, how much? Total deductions. Total deduction equal right 1.140 million. Right. Now how much taxable income? Taxable income, taxable income equal assessable income minus deductions. Right. Good. Now tax. Now we will calculate tax. Right. We will calculate tax. Right. For the first 600,000. First 600,000. How much rate for the first 600,000? It's 4%, isn't it? 600,000. So I put here. For 600,000 at 4%, isn't it? Then how much? 600,000 into 4%. 2,400. How much balance? Balance. This is tax payable. Sorry. Balance how much? Minus. Already 600,000 is out. Balance is there. Right. Again, second 600,000. How much? At what rate? 8%. Then how much? Tax payable 4,800. Then it's a balance amount. This amount minus 600,000. Right. So balance how much? Balance this amount. At what rate? At what rate? What's the rate? What's the rate? 12%. Now How much total tax payable? Total tax how much? Sum of these values. Right? Any doubt? Clear? Clear? For this amount he had to pay tax. We divide for 600,000, second is 600,000 and balance. For the first 600,000, tax rate at 4, therefore 24,000. For second 600,000, tax rate is 8%, and the balance at 12%. Therefore, total how much? Right. Anything to ask? Right. Now we deduct some tax credits. Tax credit. Then how much tax payable? Income tax equal how much? Income tax equal this amount. Income tax equal this amount. And how much tax credit? Tax credit, it means he has paid already. So one person asked question, how do we get this amount, right? First, total taxable income is this value minus first 600,000 balance this amount, right? And from this amount we deduct second 600,000 and we get this amount, right? Clear? MS12. Okay, right. Now tax credits. So he has paid income tax rupees 10,000 on the self assessment basis, so we can deduct. Already he has paid self assessment. How much? 10,000. He has already paid rupees 10,000. And pay deduction for the year 45,000. Pay, we deduct pay 45,000. Then how much tax payable? Tax liability equal. So this is the total tax, total income tax minus this value minus this value, 79,500. Right? Clear? Clear? Right. So question number 8 is about company accounts. So it is out of our syllabus, and that's all. We have completed our income tax. Anything to ask as a doubt? Right. Well, then you ready for next quiz tomorrow? Are you ready for the next quiz? It covers all the areas. It covers all chapters. Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, everything. Income tax. Are you ready for that? Okay. Okay. We will have on Friday quiz on income tax. You will have 2 pieces on that. Right. Then next class we will talk about VAT, and I will upload your past paper also, so you find the answer on that. Right. So I can arrange a meeting for you. You can discuss among you, 2P class.